Hi everyone and welcome. Today I want to give you a quick introduction to one of our most powerful features in easyjob, the Web API. What if easyjob could seamlessly communicate with all your other systems automatically in real time and without limitations? That's exactly what our easyjob Web API enables. But first, what is an API? API stands for Application Programming Interface. In simple terms, it's a way for software systems to communicate with each other. It takes a request, sends it to easyjob, and returns the data. Because this is a web API, everything happens via HTTP over the web. With the easyjob Web API, you can retrieve and update data in real time using standard methods like GET and POST. All data is transferred in JSON format, structured and easy to use. And importantly, you only access the data your user is authorized to see. To work with the API, we typically use a tool called Postman. Postman is a tool that allows us to send API requests without writing code. You can think of Postman as a test tool. It let us simulate another system communicating with easyjob. So instead of building an app right away, we can first test how the API behaves. This helps us understand the structure, test requests, and debug things quickly. In a way, Postman is like a digital messenger. It sends your request to the API and shows you the response. In the next step, we go to the easyjob documentation. help.protonic-software.com. There's a specific guide called easyjob installation and configuration. Inside this guide, you'll find a selection called Web API. In that section, there is a link to a prepared Postman collection. When you click this link, Postman opens automatically, and right away you can see a prepared collection including all required requests and helpful instructions. To get started, you'll simply click on Run in Postman. If you're new to Postman, you will be asked to create an account first. That's something everyone has to create individually, but it only takes a few steps. I skip this part here as it's straightforward. Once that's done, everything is ready to go. After logging in, Postman automatically creates a workspace. This is where I now import the easyjob collection with this button here. Once imported, you can see everything prepared. Here you can see the Web API collection, including all requests like login, user settings, and more. Now, we switch from the browser to the Postman app. On the left side, you see the imported collection, automatically synced and ready to use. No manual setup required. It contains structured endpoints, predefined requests, helpful examples. Think of it as your guided playground. Everything you need is already prepared. Before doing anything complex, it's best to check if everything is working. Open the request, get global web settings. Some requests use variables like Web API URL. If something is missing, Postman highlights it automatically. Variables that are not set appear in red. Once you enter a value, they change color and are no longer highlighted as missing. To fix it, simply hover over the variable, enter the value once. Postman will remember it for you. No need to repeat it later. This is a simple test endpoint that works without authentication. Click Send. If you receive a 200 OK response, you're connected and ready to move on. Now it's time to identify yourself to the API. Open Get Token. Go to the Body tab and enter your credentials. Click Send. In return, you receive an access token. This token is your key. It tells the API who you are and what you're allowed to access. And the best part, it stays valid for a while, so you don't need to request it again for every call. Inside the collection, you'll notice example responses. There's not live requests. They're here to help you understand what a successful response looks like, how errors are structured, which data is returned. They act as a reference, not as something you execute. Now comes the interesting part. We're authenticated, so we can start retrieving data. For example, we can request project details. Pick an endpoint, for example, project and details. Open the request, check the parameters, and click Send. You'll instantly receive real data from the API. For example, requesting a special ID might return the details for the first project created in easyjob. You'll instantly receive real data from the API. The response is returned as JSON. You can see all relevant information, project data, customer details, contacts, and related jobs. Everything is structured and ready to be used. You can build your own applications, connect external systems, synchronize data, or automate complete processes. One particularly powerful feature is that the Web API can also be used inside easyjob workflows. Here, API calls can be triggered via the workflow, for example, to create jobs, purchase orders, or synchronize data on a regular basis. Compared to direct database access like SQL, the Web API is much safer. It ensures that only valid operations are executed and always returns a clear response. The easyjob Web API turns easyjob into an open platform. You can connect it with any system and build exactly what your business needs. You're no longer limited to standard workflows. You can create your own. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to reach out.